Hey, folks, it's like attempt 4 recording here. Like, my god. Basically, I'm coming back to Outriders. I'm gonna play a bit more with Plague tomorrow. I was gonna do a little bit of checking up, fixing up of a build today, but I think my build might be fine. Basically, when I was doing the editing. It's now mid 2023, and I finally got around to editing my footage from 2021 when the game launched. And well, I'm a bit in at this point. Misread Dast's talent, thinking that it was defining close range weapon shotguns, the pump action and automatic, as the only form of close range weapon. The game defines close range weapon damage as any damage done within 10 meters, but I didn't realize that. I just misread that and assumed the worst and thought I'd been building myself wrong the whole fucking game and felt like goddamn Dark Side Phil. Very embarrassing. But yeah, no, that's not the case. Close range weapon damage is any damage done to an enemy within 10 meters. I'm still tempted in like building myself differently because like I could say swing in here, get 10% or get 15% resistance, 20% less damage from elites, 10% more health, this kind of thing. Go more tanky, get extra health for enemies that die, stuff. But I'm not sure I can justify it. Because I will want to pick up this. Every enemy in close range increases my damage by 8%, with seeming no cap. Increase my magazine size by 50, that's vital. Because I want to keep my twisted rounds going as long as possible. So, there's nothing here I can really get rid of. So, nothing here I can really get rid of. Instead, let's have a look at the journal. There's a number half in red here. Let's start, so. Grumbling mechanic. Believe me, boss, I want this to work, you've no idea, but people don't change. Jakob's always been a scoundrel and a grouch, but there's nobody you'd rather have at your side in a battle. Originally from Poland, Jakob lost his parents in the siege of Warsaw and grew up scrounging on the streets. He managed to escape to the States by boat as a young refugee, where he was happy to take up arms as a mercenary as long as he got 3 meals a day. Jakob signed on as a mechanic and driver under Jack Tanner, the same day you were recruited. Over the next 5 years, you faced combat together more times than you cared to count, fighting for whatever country was paying. You and Jakob were only survivors of a squad airdropped in Venezuela during the fall of Caracas. You managed to extract three high-profile assets. You lasted 9 months together in a Syrian prison camp in '73. Along with Tanner, you and Jakob survived a chopper crash in the Zagros Mountains and walked all the way to Kermesha. On landing day on Enoch, Jakob is the outrider responsible for driving and maintaining your truck as you secure perimeter for the first human colony. This will likely be the last time you have to serve together, if all goes according to plan. 31 years after landing on Enoch, you were sent on a mission to find Jakob, being captured by a group of thugs, the Hounds, and rescued him, earning an earful of grumbling and not even a thank you. Jakob has clearly not changed. Jakob has left the life and ideals of the Outriders behind. He's now a crack mechanic under Grand Marshal Shara Gutman's employ, capable of keeping any set of wheels turning. Jakob nonetheless prefers to laze about and gripe about his predicament from his comfortable cocoon of fatalism. Jakob was pleasantly surprised to find that you're alive, but has a creeping feeling that this joy will be short-lived. Jakob revealed how he rescued Chana's mother, Kasumi, from the Caravel disaster back on Earth, and how they reunited on Enoch. Kasumi died when Chana was a child, leaving Jakob to raise her on his own. Jakob was unwilling to take on the responsibility. While taking shelter in the desert, Jakob was captured along with the rest of the crew. While we were rescuing the others, Jakob rushed off to help Chana. An old friend died, saving his daughter, impaled by the leader of the hostile natives. His tombstone reads, "Here lies Jakob Dabrowski, father, friend, outrider." Dr. Abraham Zahidi. One of the sharpest minds alive, Dr. Zahidi grew up under the tutelage of his father, Ezra Zahidi, who brought his son on the force at the age of 10 and taught him everything he knew. Zahidi has devoted years to studying the anomaly and trying to decipher the mysterious signal. But he also immersed himself in research because it was the only way to stay off the battlefield, the only way to avoid making hard choices. He wouldn't last a minute in the trenches. When he and Jane stumbled on the Outriders' cryopods during an expedition into the First City, his mission was an entirely different one. Instead, he found you. Corrigan's right hand. Oh, I see battle right, just not a front-line kind. That's what we got the cannon fodder for. Like many of those born in Enoch, Bailey was raised an orphan, never knowing her parents, never inheriting a last name. Raised by the ECA's army, she's been forged by the war, learning how to kill before she was a teenager, learning how to lead soldiers before she was an adult. She bears a particular hatred for the Altered, for how they have slaughtered her friends, wiped out the units in her command, and exercised ultimate power without having earned it. A heartless, show no weakness, authoritarian in training, Bailey is one of Trenchtown's marshals, charged with making sure those on the ground are carrying out the Grand Marshal's commands, contributing war effort one way or another. A marshal won't hesitate to execute those not pulling their weight, and Bailey is one of the cruelest, following the footsteps of her mentor, Grand Marshal Corrigan. She looks up to him for his ruthlessness and lives for his approval. Encounter Bailey with a prisoner in tow on Dead Rock Pass, made a deal to help her bring the prisoner to Trenchtown in exchange for an audience with Corrigan, and hopefully passage through the minefield towards the forest. As part of your agreement to aid in the assault, Corrigan has ordered Bailey to guide you through the minefield on the way to the quarry, and return to Trenchtown once you're safely through. After recovering the lithium batteries from the quarry, you return to your truck to find Bailey saving Zahidi from a pack of monsters. Zahidi asks Bailey to join the convoy, on the condition she would protect him in your absence. Jana confronted Bailey on her true intentions, believing she's a spy for Corrigan, but ultimately decided her intentions were irrelevant, as long as she can keep Zahidi alive. On the plus side would stop Corrigan sending even more of his people chasing after you into the forest. Over time, Bailey's bitterness grew, over her altered abilities, over perception you were leading her to her death. Attempting to stop August, believing natives was causing the storm, Bailey was struck by a crystal shard infused with anomaly's energy, and appeared to be granted the powers of an altered. Realizing her new potential, Bailey already questionable loyalties quickly crystallized. She now should return to Trenchtown and present August to Corrigan as a trophy, right after she killed you for daring to give her orders. She did not succeed at either. Nearly defeated, Bailey made one last effort to bury you under rubble, but her powers suddenly faded, and the boulder she held on top of her, fell on top of her, breaking her spine. The crew wanted to leave her behind, but Sean insisted she be brought along. When you confronted Sean, she revealed that Bailey's part of the vision, the garden. As visions materialized, she believed Bailey has to be present. ECA Sniper, First Class. With your help, Outrider, we're going to make it out of this valley. Get out of this valley. Jane served under Shara for many years. Shara took notice of her one day when Jane popped the helmet of an insurgent captain from 200 feet, with none but her rival's iron sights. Jane later became a staunch believer in Zahidi's mission. She volunteered to accompany him as a bodyguard during his expeditions into hostile territory. Her courage, superior skills of marksman, and stealthy approach were ideal for infiltrating positions held by insurgents or infested with monsters. During their latest expedition, Jane found you as you emerged from your cryopod after 31 years of stasis. She was forced to leave you behind, fearing for Zahidi's safety, but was ultimately unable to prevent the doctor from getting captured. Frustrated with herself, rescuing Zahidi is now paramount importance to her. Jane was mortally wounded while interrogating Zahidi's captor in First City. With her final breath, she pleaded with you to recover the upload node and continue Zahidi's mission. Her epitaph reads, "Here lies Jane calm. Sniper, First Class." Victor Corrigan. I would say you always have a home here, Altered, but I don't think you'll be coming back alive. World Marshal of Trenchtown, Victor Corrigan's a powerful military leader and industrial titan, and seems to be slowly losing his mind. Respected once, his growing paranoia is apparently convinced him he can't trust anyone, or let his guard down. Rules Trenchtown with an iron fist, alongside Marshal Bailey, his right-hand woman, whom he also probably doesn't trust. Corrigan came to Enoch as a young man, son of an important structural engineer who was responsible for the construction of the industrial zone. His father was killed there, along with thousands of workers when the engine's meltdown blasted radiation throughout the area. Young Victor joined refugees from the industrial zone, who stayed to build an independent outpost. Over time, he grew to become its leader and eventually declared himself an independent Grand Marshal. For years, he has controlled all the mining in the quarry and passage beyond it to the forest. It wasn't until several years later he aligned himself with Shara Gottman, bringing Trenchtown into ECA's fold. What drives Corrigan is his paranoia that his fellow Grand Marshal, Shara Gottman, is working to depose him. Your journey through Trenchtown on an undefined mission for Gottman will surely only exacerbate his suspicions. Juno Pascal. A courageous and leading figure among the deserters, Juno Pascal is looked up to by the denizens of the camp. Equipped with medical knowledge from a youth as a field medic in the trenches of war, she seems to be kind of village doctor and general den mother, taking care of many of the Enclave's affairs. She's apparently also apparently respected by Skurlock, who has employed her in his scientific work. She seems to be one of the only members of the camp who's been entrusted with the formula for Skurlock's miracle cure. But it's also rumored there's some tension between them. Pascal seems to be openly impudent towards Kang, the sergeant at arms at the camp. She does not respect his authority, and because of her favourite status with Skurlock, Kang seems unable to reprimand her. Therefore, despite having no official power in the camp structure, many seem to treat Pascal as they would a leader, though she holds no such title. After the collapse of Skurlock's regime, the Enclave and its new appointed leader, Juno Pascal, refused to align with Kang and his fighters. Everything left of Skurlock's legacy remains with Juno, though she refused to continue Skurlock's way of doing things, and decided to end the injustice of the lottery. She chose to share her knowledge with everyone in the Enclave, to avoid the risk of falling into the same trappings and abuses of power as the Doctor did. The people of the Enclave, however, still need treatment to survive in the forest. With supplies only looking to last a few months, Juno faces more hard decisions to come. No shortage of dead humans in the war zone, Juno is suggesting a negotiation with the ECA. An agreement between the two would see the ECA provide Juno with the bodies of soldiers fallen in battle, from which biomass can be extracted. And in return, Juno would share the treatment's formula with the ECA. Negotiations will be tough. Juno questions how much progress can be made before she tracks those that will take advantage of this place. The repercussions of this agreement can hardly be predicted, but they're crucial for the continued survival of the Enclave. You. Oh, kind of cut her off. Let's quest back here, pour one out.
This must be Jakob's old place.
His voice sounds right here. During that cutscene, back in the fight, it just sounded like generic movie guy voice. This sounds right here.
This is Jakob's. Seems he left something behind. Vodka, of course. And a note. In Polish. I should go see how he's liking his spot on the hill.
That hung weirdly.
I just knew it. No way you're showing up after all this time could have been random. It's been a long time since I had something to believe in. You would have made Captain Tanner proud, Outrider.
What a fucking disaster. Boss will know what to do, but the doctors are still keeping them all in cryo and won't tell me a word about it, saying it's classified or some shit. Classified my ass. I was there when it all happened. I'm done with the Outriders. Should have quit the day after that prick killed Tanner. There's nothing left to salvage there. The ECA's reabsorbed me into the army's mechanic, and that's where I'm staying. No more heroics. I got a baby on the way. Kasumi's about 2 weeks before she's due. We have no idea if it's a boy or a girl. Doc's saying there's something wrong with the ultrasound machine and they can't get a read, so we're in for a surprise. Kasumi keeps giving me the side eye every time I walk out the door, like she's half expecting the last time she sees me. Can't blame her. I got a reputation, and for good reason. But I've made up my mind, and I'm in this for the long haul. I promised her a house somewhere quiet away from the chaos of the colony. Not for her, but for who she carries with her. Got a feeling the little guy's gonna be special. I don't know why I care so much. Damn thing's not even mine. But I'll take a bullet for it. And in the end, he did.
Outriders who did it. He brought down the...
Hold on. Pause. Shit. They got McCain too. And half his vanguard.
Cowards couldn't face him in battle, so they buried him alive.
I am starving here.
The subtitles are glitching.
I find some semblance.
God, El
you all when I'm gone.
I know you have a million questions, but I don't have time.
You let me sleep in a few too many fucking years. I think you can find some time.
There's nothing new to talk about.
Therefore, keep moving. Only the dead get the day off.
Would have expected something new. Apparently I'm wrong in that.
Guys are crazy.
Scary when you think about
I
it.
was there with Guten. We saw the pods.
Been hearing stories about. Sounds like you out there making history. You're going to have to tell how you did it sometime. Years from now, people will want to know what happened here. Without memories of the past, the future means so little. If you come across anything else from old Earth, there's a home for it here. Well, well. I remember these. Must have been a treasure in a box of goodies, saved from Earth by some spoiled little kid who probably didn't last a year on this rock. Can you imagine we once had a world where war could just be a game for kids and their dolls? I have a hard time accepting finality, but I suppose I must accept you have found just about everything worth finding.
How you know that? It's anyone's guess. Feels like that's a reference. Keep thinking Gears of War, but he's not nearly stacked enough.
This here museum is a testament. Collecting, sweetheart. Wouldn't be anywhere near as meaningful without you.
We are soldiers, we are merchants, we are captains, and we are altered. We are traitors, and we are heroes. We are ECA, and we are colonists. We are hounds, and we are insurgents. We are cultists. We're all that and more besides. But no one wants to be about themselves. People too readily identify with these
Sometimes
abstractions.
people ask me what'll happen when we lose our past, and I say, I ain't thought one bit about that because I ain't gonna let that happen.
But nobody wants to be themselves. Too many people readily identify with these abstractions, these ideas, to which they sacrifice their individual freedom and responsibility. People are too scared of their freedom. They use it only so far as to deny it to themselves. Then it is discarded, to be replaced by external identities that absolves of all duty and burden. My museum of curios and oddities stands here, testament to our fear of freedom, our fear of all that we once were, before we were just this and that. I do catch myself on the rare good day, daring to hope that this collection births an idea in those who see it, an idea that we're more capable of more, that our best days are not behind us.
Good to see you again. You'll be pleased to know the hound.
Move along, nothing to see here.
Indeed, you're nothing to look at. Want me to do Brickhead again? I've already done that. Game says as much. Yeah, it claims I haven't done the 0 to 10 assassinations. It's weird, things have been reset.
this?
It was Jakob's. What's the label say?
Well, it's in Polish.
Can you read it?
Whoever finds this bottle... Can I make it a few words after that? It's, vodka, drink, grave.
Well, I guess we're in the right place.
Co jest zdrowie.
Twoje zdrowie.
Good. He'd never forgive us for drinking without him anyway.
Hey, Jakob. Tired of this hill yet? At least it's quiet up here.
I didn't hate you straight away when you left. I was confused and blamed myself a lot. Kinda got cut off. That back gate keeps banging. I didn't hate you straight away when you left.